Welcome to the first week of health psychology. In this week, I'm going to provide you an understanding of the focus of health psychology within the psychological sciences and give you a little history of health psychology. First, I want to give you a list of readings and assignments and sort of give you a broad overview of these so that you know when they're due each week. Every week you will have a reading from the textbook. This week you should read Chapter 1, which will take you about an hour if you read it carefully and take good notes. Sometimes there will be other reading assignments like chapters or articles, but there are none for this week. I'll provide you videos to help you consider topics covered in the readings more in depth. So this week we'll have some videos on contextual factors that are influential on health. You will also have a health profile every week. These are reflections on the readings and assignments. Be sure that your answers convey all that you learned and have thought about. Poor grades will result if your answers don't reflect any material from the week, so check the rubric. You have to post your health profile by Thursday, and then for some weeks, comments on 2 of your peers' health profiles will be required. Now don't forget the module assignments. Keep in mind and work on these throughout so that they're easy to finish up at the end of the module. So let's start off with the definition of health psychology. The book defines this as the application of psychological principles and research to the enhancements of health and the prevention and treatment of illness. Of particular interest, you may find the history of health psychology, which covers how we have arrived at our modern view of health and well-being from prehistoric medicine, across Greek and Roman medicine, through the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, and into the 21st century. Within our modern view of health, we will focus on 4 learning objectives for this part of the Introduction to Health Psychology module. The first 2 will help you to understand how health psychologists view health and well-being. Learning objective 1 is that you will be able to describe the benefits of the biopsychosocial model in comparison to the traditional medical model and apply the biopsychosocial model to a personal health experience. For learning objective 2, you'll need to define quality of life and subjective well-being. The biopsychosocial model is really the foundation of this course. We will come back to this again and again. It seems like a no-brainer, but we didn't always take into consideration how there were more than just biological predictors of health. Psychological factors and social influences also impact how people fare in their health. In this manner, our current approach focuses more on the quality of life and subjective well-being rather than just the absence of disease. Learning objective 3 is to identify contextual issues that create inter-individual differences in health outcomes. Inter-individual differences are literally differences between individuals that explain why some do better than others in health outcomes. I provided you videos to watch to consider such influences as what a society as a whole believes and supports, when individuals live in time, such as cohort effects, and demographic considerations, such as gender and race. Let me tell you some things to look out for in these videos. These are the types of topics I would want you to know for the quiz and to complete the health profile. The first 2 videos provide really interesting visuals of how society changed. Both are 5 minutes long. One important consideration of context is history-graded influences. In the first video, you'll see video mapping 200 countries over 200 years in the relationship between income and age expectancy, where you should ask yourself, what is the relationship between income and lifespan across history, and also take notes on factors that impacted lifespan positively and negatively. This second video focuses on important societal influences on health, and also touches on history-graded influences by focusing on population distributions. As you are watching this, consider how does this apply to health psychology in the biopsychosocial model. Focus on baby boomers. How does this cohort or group of individuals who have experienced similar things in history show where our country has been in population distribution and influences where it is heading? What are implications from this cohort? I want you to take notes on what a population pyramid can tell us and think about how this has implication for health and the healthcare system. For video 4 and 5, these are to help you to consider how societal expectations might differ for different people and how this could have implications for how different people approach health decision making. I'm providing you gender as an example and have a video for both males and females. For the final video, I have another demographic consideration related to societal influences, and that's race. While there is very little genetic variability between races, there are consistent health discrepancies. Because this isn't genetic, we can't consider nature as a factor, but must consider the role of nurture or the environment. What does the video tell us about the causes of the racial gap in health? What are the 3 reasons which the speaker attributes to this discrepancy? I hope by viewing these videos that you start to consider societal factors of health. What societal expectations have you experienced based on personal characteristics like race, socioeconomic status, gender, age, and culture? In the text and videos I'm providing, you should be able to explain the 4th learning objective, how lessons from the past influence our current understanding of health and illness. Without appreciation of history, we are doomed to repeat it. Here's some topics and vocabulary that you need to focus on. I recommend taking detailed notes on these topics from the text and the videos, and that will prepare you for the quiz and the health profile. Now, just a reminder of deadlines. Our health profiles are always due on Thursday by 5 p.m. Your quiz is due on Friday by 5 p.m. Comments on the health profile, when required, are due on Saturday by 5 p.m. And similarly, when you have a module assignment due, those are due by Saturday by 5 p.m. as well. So let's talk about your first health profile. Please refer to the rubric on Blackboard to be sure you know how you should answer these. Your first prompt is, what does it mean to be healthy? Choose one aspect of your personal health. This could be migraines, weight, smoking, physical activity, chronic conditions, and evaluate it using the biopsychosocial model. Describe contextual factors that impact you and define what it means for you to be healthy. This week you will be required to comment on 2 of your peers' posts. Just a preview to your module assignment. By the end of this module and the 4 topics that are under it, you need to identify one prevention program in the community that you believe is based upon theory and research relevant to health psychology. Check out Blackboard for a document that provides the worksheet you must complete, as well as a rubric by which your work will be graded. This isn't due until after we have completed the module, but there's no time like the present to get started. So that gives you an overview of what to expect for this week. Welcome to my class. I hope you enjoy learning about the history of health psychology this week.